Now, can we start? Let's.
Yes, my Lord.
Yes.
Good morning. In regard to the directions you have given to our application for scrutiny, we are requesting if the court can clarify a couple of things. One, that the production and scrutiny be overseen by the registrar of the court, that we be granted leave to file a report of the findings of that scrutiny, and that specific timelines be provided for the production of the or access to the material that has been granted, so that we don't lose time.
Before an order is made, my understanding of the prayer by my learned friend is to be given access. Yesterday, my Lord, before, or rather in the course of the argument, you did ask where the documents are, and we confirmed to the court that the documents are within our warehouses in Nairobi. And what I thought my learned friend asked for is access, and we are perfectly willing to give that access. I don't see why the court now should be involved in another exercise that will delay the hearing.
Mr. Ndubi.
Yes, my Lord.
We looked at your prayers very carefully. You needed access to these forms. So IBC's represented here, they are ready. Mr. Gatonye, please arrange for somebody to open where they are. Mr. Ndubi, send your representatives there, and you have access to those documents. Then you can make a report of what you have seen. And I think Mr. Gatonye, I think if he wants to take a copy or two of some of those forms, please allow them to do that, so that they can, if there is anything they want to point out of that. So give them access, and if you can, avail a photocopying machine in the what?
So long, my Lord, as they undertake to pay any photocopy, any certification. Yeah.
Photocopying, you can,
it's public duty.
We have already told them that they will get a certified copy of the register
at their own cost.
At their own cost, because in your replying affidavit, you said it is going to cost millions to photocopy that. So, Mr. Ndubi, is up to you what part of the register you want to photocopy. You can do that.
Very well. How about timelines? Because it's essential. Okay, perhaps we assume that the order is running, so we will send our people now.
Mr. Gatonye, please ask your people to avail enough staff so that this can be done and we get the report by tomorrow evening.
Most obliged.
Yes.
Thank you.
My two learned friends appear to leave us out. We are actually very, very important in that exercise. Okay. My Lord, as I understand it, so that we do not leave here and then generate other reports, is access being given. In that access, I do not see another report being done, because a report will be now evidence. We would want, number one, to be present when that is going on. As a matter of fact, if Mr. Gatonye could facilitate a recording of what is being done. Not that we impute any improper motives, but we are here to make sure everything is done correctly, so that we are not given one document which mutates into something else. We would want to be present throughout that exercise, and Mr. Gatonye should have big enough a warehouse to enable all the parties to be present.
But again, sorry, my Lord. we cannot allow a very large number of people. So perhaps my learned friend, Mr. Ndung'u, can give some indication about the number of persons he wishes to send to go and have a look at the document.
Two things I would say. It would be meaningless to undertake that exercise as a result of this direction from the court without the liberty to do a report to the court, whatever that report is. Two, if I recall, the order in terms of how we quoted it, all parties should be at liberty to participate. Thirdly, the number, because I recall from, though I did not participate in petition number 1 of this year, there was difficulty in terms of logistics because the earlier orders given by the court was 2 people to access, to participate, and it was becoming difficult. So we'll be requesting to have at least 10 our representatives to engage.
10 people?
10 people, yes. Because you see, my lord, it's easier if you have 10 people and they share the work so that they reduce the time taken rather than having 2 people to do repetitive work for a long time so that even the report becomes meaningless to the court once it is ready, if at all, in time.
The difficulty we have with large numbers is exactly what happened barely a month or so ago, where our opponent crowded the venue and then reports started being generated. Is access to certain forms. We can have 2 people looking at form 34A, 2 looking at 34B, and 2 looking at 34C. So each team can have 6 people. But having 10 and then another 10 and another, it's too big a group.
I think that, Mr. Ndung'u, that sounds reasonable.
My lord, what I think is that first you will recall that the third respondent opposed our application. They were not interested in this exercise that we were asking for. They now seem to be particularly interested in it. I understand, of course, they would, but it is, like Paul Mwangi said yesterday, breathing hot and cold. 10 people
who is likely to be affected with an adverse word?
My lord, whereas we appreciate that the third respondent has a direct stake in the outcome of the petition, we also know that all Kenyan voters and indeed citizens have a direct stake too, so that this matter cannot be taken as if it is a dispute between individuals. It's a public issue that is being discussed. So 10 is not unreasonable. In fact, if he proposes 6, 4 more is not excessive. It's not unreasonable, neither is it disproportionate.
If I may add something. For the second respondent, I was personally involved in the last exercise, and we were not careful about the numbers. Everything was going on very well until there was an invasion of numbers.
Invasion, yes.
And everything became chaotic. So if we can limit the numbers, also, you must consider the space. We don't have Milimani Hall. And I think it can be worked out. But if we go this way, we're going to have a problem again.
We're not talking about invasion. We are giving a specific
number.
number.
We had an invasion last time.
We were not there.
Okay.
My lord, we are giving a specific number. We have not talked about people coming in willy-nilly. We are talking about 10 people. We are not asking for hundreds of people.
Fine. Gentlemen, the petitioners to have 7 people, the third respondents to have 7 people. IBC to avail the number of staff they think will be required to facilitate the exercise.
Most obliged.
And then if you are noticing any issues, it would help if both of you can agree and say this from 34A appears altered or something like that, and you record that so that it is like by consent.
Yes, and if we have difficulty, we'll be at liberty to approach the court. Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Musyoki.
Yes, my lord. I appear for the first petitioner
Yes.
with Mr. Mark Ouma and Mr. Mark Ngatia.
Yes.
We are ready to proceed with the petition.
Yes. Sorry, just before we start, Mr. Ndung'u and Mr. Ngatia. Yes. It will help if we can have that report tomorrow by 3 o'clock.
Yes, indeed. We were just organizing to send one of my colleagues here to organize our team.
I do not anticipate any report at all. It's an access being given. If he wants to record anything, that's his personal report, not a joint report.
No, my lord, I think what we can do, either we have a joint report if we agree, if we disagree, we do our respective reports. Because it doesn't mean anything if we are going to conduct an exercise and the court has no benefit of its outcome. It might as well have been rejected then.
My lord, I thought the order requested by Malan and Friend was one for access. That order has been granted. There is no order for furnishing the court with either a joint or individual report. It is upon him, after examining the documents, if he believes that he should file anything in court, for him to file. He shouldn't involve other people.
Precisely.
My lord, the point of access, the meaning for access is that we have asked for that scrutiny and access on account that we have to compare what we have with what has been produced in court and what they might be having. So it is important that the court has the benefit of the outcome of its orders. It is actually completely meaningless if we are going to do nothing.
Mr. Ndung'u?
Yes, my lord.
Please make a note of what you have seen. Make a note of what you have seen, make a report of what you have seen. Mr. Ngatia, it would be, in my view, good if you also, especially if they are pointing out something, it is also good for you to say whether it is correct or not.
But in the last sentence, I saw yet another danger. Now, instead of access, it is a comparison of what he has and what IEBC has. My lord, we are now expanding this into a very dangerous monster. My learned friend is not going to come to that hall with other documents to compare, because we now start to see a way that documents could be exchanged. We are going without a single document. What I say of him is what I say about my team. We go without any documents. We go to access with our eyes, with our cameras, and with our everything. If he wants then to make an application, he's entitled to do that.
No, my lord.
But to allow him, my lord, to go with thousands of documents, and then he starts to compare, that would be very dangerous.
I think we are really taking time away from hearing the petition. Yes. The order is clear. You have access. What you do with your access is your business. So just go get access, get whatever information you want out of there. Once you are out of the warehouse or whatever the place is called, do with it what you want. The order that has been granted to you is for access.
My lady, what we did yesterday in our application to justify the orders that you have granted was to demonstrate certain discrepancies. I do appreciate, my lady, when you say we can do what we have access, but it is also inappropriate and improper for Mr. Gatonya's client to limit us to say you can't come with any piece of paper with which we can compare what they have, because we have demonstrated before this court that there are discrepancies between the forms that we are able to access through our agents and those that they produced on the public portal.
Counsel?
So, yes, my lady. My lady, sorry.
Is there any part of the order you did not understand?
No, I quite understand it.
Thank you. Now, if you want it, the typed one, you could get that. If you just comply with the order, then you come back and we deal with that after you've come back. I agree with you. It's pointless to just go and look and walk out. But you will define what you want to do after you've come out, and then you bring it to us.
Yeah, indeed, like I said, we can conclude by saying if we experience any particular difficulty that we think is important for the court to deal with, we'll present that difficulty.
Let's proceed that way.
Thank you.
Thank you.